Robert Maguire, Artist's File. Hi, I'm Gary Lovisi, and this installment we're going to take a look at something a little different. We came upon a file of the artist Robert Maguire for his painting for Harlequin romance, Breaking Every Rule. And the thing is that in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, a lot of the vintage paperback artists that we know and collect and like, Robert McGinnis, Robert Maguire, Walter Popp, John Leone, Mitchell Hooks, there's many of them, all ended up doing romance covers. And the covers were very similar to the kind of things that they were doing in the 50s and 60s, showing intense action or contact between men and women or action sequences. But this time it was geared toward a female readership and book buying public in the 80s and 90s, rather than in the 50s and 60s where it was a male readership. So you see the different orientation. And this is Bob Maguire did a lot of stunning, beautiful original paintings for Harlequin books, and we have here his file. And for this painting, for the book cover for Breaking Every Rule, that was a Harlequin book, and we have the original art also. And what we're going to do is just take a look at it. This is Silhouette Special Edition number 402, and this is the actual Harlequin Enterprises Limited, the purchase order from January 1987 to Bob Maguire, where he was Bob Maguire in Canterbury Drive, New Jersey, and prepare the artwork for the following: Silhouette 402, Breaking Every Rule, and he was paid $3,500 plus expenses. And this is the contract from Harlequin Books for that painting. And in with the contract, there's a information. The author has definite ideas on what she wants. I prefer scene number 1, which takes place in the hero's house. So there's he's getting instruction from the publisher, from the editor, from the art director, and also even from the author by way of the publisher in standard operating procedure. Publishing Services Group has all the information here, and it would tell you basically this is a synopsis of what the novel is about, so that says the time has come for Kelsey McKenna to face up to her past. And so she has to face up with her past, while at the same time she is meeting Thomas Sullivan, who is her love interest, and the two of them are starting a relationship. And this is kind of telling the artist actually like what the relationship is between the two people, to try to show it in the cover art. There's more over here on the next page. Scene 2, outside on the redwood deck. And he says there's other things like, please don't forget Thomas's bushy mustache, because you'll notice this later on when I show you the photos. What happened was Bob was paid $3,500 plus expenses, and the expenses were for the photographs of the models for the painting. So there's much more, very involved. This is 1987, and it's very involved what goes on here. The color, the hair color, the age of the person, relevant details, character type. Looks like a wild-haired bohemian, hippie-like. She is quiet, shy. She wears her clothes for comfort's sake. Blah blah blah. Other relevant details: precisely groomed, bushy mustache. Mustache is in capital letters. And this is just to give more information to the artist as to what he has to do, what Bob had to do to get this commission the way that the publisher and the author wanted it. Scene number 1, living room of Thomas's house, and there's all more material. And the interesting thing here is the model photos. And the model photos in the slides. Ignore that phone. And these are the two models that were taken. There's like about 40 or 50 photos in different aspects to show the highlighting of the images, the highlighting of the light and the shade that Maguire would use. He picked different ones, and there's more of these, really beautiful. All of them are very close to the same kind of image, but it's just like you could see, like just very slight differences in the face of the man, and he's holding her chin. Here's his face is turned around a little differently. Here they're different. So it's what they wanted to do was, what Bob wanted to do was, taking these photos, was to get every aspect, as much information as possible, so that he could choose as wisely as he could. And these are all pictures. Then he would take the better pictures, the ones that he thought would have promise, and those he would blow up, and he would and use them for the basis of the original painting. You'll notice also that the model here the male model does not have a mustache. So that had to be put in later. And that was a part of the instructions that he received. It was very important to the author and the publisher to make sure that was done. So you see all these different pictures, and some of them, they're almost very close to being they're very similar, almost close together, but slight variances, slight differences, and these are the things that, when you're an artist, that you look for and you want to see to get an idea. Now here's one where Bob checked off that, and this is probably one that's close to the original painting. Here's the original painting. You can see that photo and the original painting, and it's signed R.A. Maguire here. And he also liked these two photos. He checked those off. So he took about 50 photos. He also did, you can see, very interesting, because as an artist you have to have a good eye for detail. And what he did was he took these two photos for contrast. One of them, you see the ripples in the guy's back and other details more clearly. On here you don't. You see like different contrast. But what he also did was take other photos of the arm, of the waist, to get the hand with the veins in the hand, to get that more correct. So he was doing a lot of detailed photography to get these pictures right. He was doing close-ups in two different highlights and low lights of the light, and you see the same thing here. And this is what was going on. He put these together, and then ended up with a beautiful painting, a beautiful wraparound painting for this Harlequin book from 1987. And it's Breaking Every Rule by Victoria Potty. This is the book. And what I'm going to do is turn the original painting around so you can see it really nice, complete, and the book here next to it. At this time in the paperback publishing history, a lot of the famous collectible artists were doing romance covers, and Bob Maguire was doing some beautiful work. And I think that this is just an explanation, just a view of his personal records, his personal files of this one painting that I happen to have. And I think it's interesting to show the contract, the art direction, the photos that he took of the models, and he made sure to put the mustache in as he was instructed, and all of that. So it's I think it's a pretty cool look at how the process of paperback art was done in the 1980s, specifically in the romance, Harlequin romance genre. And there's a lot more involved to it than you think. There was a lot more detail in the contract on what had to be shown, how it had to be shown. They did biographies of the characters so that you get a whole feeling for the persons that you're depicting on the cover of the book. And I think it's a terrific way to showcase these kind of books. A lot of times romance books get short shrift today, but this is pretty cool. And a Maguire original painting is just beautiful, beautiful, stunning. This is a wraparound cover, and of course the focus is on the two lovers. And I just hope you enjoy this look at the Robert Maguire artist files for this painting. And I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for looking. Give us a thumbs up, and see you next time.